What up, race fans? 450 class. Now we all know that 250 class was absolutely devastating. Seth Hammaker just rolling the entire night for everyone, even the fans watching. But the 450s were a little bit interesting. Now, I know, Jet Lawrence, he does what he does. He pulls a whole shot, pulls a gap, maintains the gap, wins the race, yada, yada, yada. That part's boring. But what was happening behind Jet Lawrence was interesting from beginning to end. We all thought we was going to see a battle. Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton, Eli Tomac, 1, 2, 3 off the gate. The previous champion, the defending champion, and the rookie. Exactly what we wanted to see. We saw how that turned out. Once again, Chase Sexton just rides in toe to Jet. Can't catch him, can't pass him. Same as motocross. But Eli Tomac, oh boy. I would not be surprised if he retires halfway through this season. I think we're looking at Eli Tomac's farewell ride. Because that performance was horrible. That performance was horrible. To start in third and then let 7 people pass you. And he let them pass him. He just moved over and let him go. He didn't put up a fight one bit. We had Roczen, Ferrandis, Webb, Anderson, Plessinger, Hunter Lawrence, and his teammate, Justin Cooper. He let 7 guys go by him like he was just out there on a Sunday cruise. We know that his Achilles is good because they say when your Achilles tears or ruptures or whatever and then they fix it, it's better than it was before. So, is it his fitness? Is he suffering from severe arm pump? I mean, we may never know because, you know, Tomac, he's tight-lipped. He doesn't let anything out. He keeps to himself. So we might never know what Tomac's problem is. But I think we are certainly looking at his farewell tour. I don't think he even does motocross at this point. Not unless he picks up some steam halfway through the season and actually shows that he's picking his fitness back up, which I hope happens. I would hate to see Eli Tomac go out this way. He's the champ. He has 51 Supercross race wins, second all time. For him to go out this way, it'd just be heartbreaking. But his teammate, Cooper Webb, Coop. I think he's going to be the only person that's going to be able to get up there and battle with Jet. Because he had a horrible start. He started in 12th place and just consistently worked his way through the field. To 10th, to 7th, to 5th, eventually settling into 4th. If he would have started where Tomac started in 3rd place, I guarantee he easily would have passed Sexton and battled with Jet. Because to start in 12th and to end in 4th, passing 8 people in this field, I mean, there's so many good people in this field. They talk about it all the time. Cooper Webb is looking really good on that Yamaha. So I see him being number 2 in the championship. Hopefully he can win it, because I would hate to see Jet win his first championship. We all know it's likely, but I'd hate to see it. So hopefully Webb can get up there, get some better starts throughout the rest of the season, and he can put it to Jet, because I firmly believe he is more than capable of it. Ken Roczen. Ken Roczen did the same thing as Cooper Webb. He had a bad start. He started in 8th place, but it only took him 5 minutes to work his way up to 3rd. 8th to 3rd in 5 minutes, that's pretty good. Ken Roczen is looking better than everybody else. Better than Tomac, better than Anderson. I think if Ken Roczen stays consistent like this and can get better starts, he's definitely fighting up there with Webb and Jet. All we need is for these guys to get starts. If Webb and Roczen get the starts, they're winning races. They got the speed. They got the consistency. They're not pulling a Tomac and falling off and just letting people by. The last person I want to talk about moving through the pack was the points leader up until this round, AP. AP looked just as good as Webb and just as good as Roczen in this main event. He had the worst start of all. He started all the way back in 15th place. That's horrible. Come across the whole shot line in 15th, That's a really bad jump off the gate. But, just like Webb, he consistently climbed through the pack. Halfway through that main event, he made his way up to about 8th or 9th place, which is good. That's passing 6 or 7 people, and he didn't lose his drive from there. He didn't fall off as the race went on. He just kept consistently chipping away at the people in front of him, and when it was all said and done, AP crossed the finish line in 6th place. So I think he did the best out of everyone. Webb, 12th to 4th, Roczen, 8th to 3rd, but AP going from 15th to 6th, that's a lot of passes. 9 to be exact, which I think is the most passes made in the main event. AP's had the speed for years. We've all seen the speed, but he hasn't been able to do it consistently. But this year, he has consistently been running up front with these boys every round, even in the mud, especially in San Diego when he won. He's definitely going to be one of the guys running up front. Whether he can get in front of Webb and Roczen, it's hard to say. Those two are riding phenomenal, as I said, but he's definitely going to be the 4th guy running up there with Jet, Webb, and Roczen. So we had those guys climbing through the pack. We had 2 guys that stayed right where they started for the most part. Jason Anderson and Hunter Lawrence. Anderson, he started about midway through the pack, around 9th or 10th place. He made a couple quick key passes there in the beginning. He just hovered around that 5th to 7th range the entire main event. 5th to 7th, back and forth. Ended up finishing the race in 5th. Same with Hunter Lawrence. Hunter Lawrence started right there ahead of Anderson in about 7th place. He hovered right there in that 7 to 9 range. By the end of the main event, I think Hunter finished in 8th, which is good. Those two are staying consistent. They're not making mistakes. I would like to see those two get better and make some more passes and work their way up front. But if they can come off the whole shot line, 3rd or 4th place, they've shown that they're capable of maintaining that throughout the 20-minute main event. So hopefully we see Anderson and Hunter get better as the season goes on. We all know Anderson's capable of race wins. We all know Hunter's a champion. He's finding his footing in this 450 class fast. Not as fast as his brother, but he's getting his footing pretty good for being a rookie of the class. Which brings us to the Disaster Boys, the Husqvarna boys. Malcolm Stewart, he just having bad luck, and Christian Craig, he just sucks. I don't know why. We all saw Christian Craig in 2022 in the 250 class. He dominated. There was a couple times he wrecked in the beginning and was able to come through the entire field and finish on the podium. I don't know how you go from being so dominant in the 250 class to being just a dud in the 450 class. I know it's a different bike. I know you're racing harder people. But to fall off the way Craig has, I think Craig's done. He's on a contract year. Same with Stewart. We all know Stewart's good, though. He's just having some bad luck with some crashes. People taking him out. I think he'll get that straightened out, and I think he'll end up running up front towards the end of the season. But Christian Craig, as of now, I do not see Craig getting a contract renewal for Husqvarna. He might be lucky to get a ride with a privateer team, but at this point, if he can't prove that he can start making gains and start improving on his riding, he might as well just retire. Which I hate to see because I like Craig. Christian Craig's a good dude. Hopefully these Husqvarna boys can do better. I know Malcolm Stewart's capable of it. Christian Craig's capable of it. I just don't know if his head's in it. I don't know. I don't think his head's in the game at this point. So there you have it. My thoughts on the 450 race of Detroit. Next week we're headed back to the West Coast. We'll be in Glendale, Arizona. Glendale's always a good track. We'll be back with the 250 West boys. We'll see what plays out with RJ and Kitchen. See if Joe Shimoda can have a decent week or not. Then we'll have an off week. We'll have to find something to do with our Saturday besides watch Supercross. And we head back to the East Coast, which I cannot wait for. Can't wait to see what the boys that were laying on the ground in the first turn this week are capable of when they can get around the first turn and get across the whole shot line clean. Hope everybody enjoys their week, and I'll see y'all on the next video.